world, it's 20 years, but to the first responders of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, it feels like yesterday. One former New York City Fire Department EMT says that grief stays within arm's reach, but his uniform, a shield of protection and pride, is now missing. Our Natalie Spalla joins us now about the search currently underway to find it. Natalie.
Yeah, hi, Tessa. Johan Zemosianek has been a customer of Sandy's dry cleaners for years without incident. But a few weeks back, when he went to pick up his New York Fire Department dress uniform, he says it wasn't able to be found.
My jaw dropped. It was like I was hit in the stomach, gut punched.
Johan Zemosianek says he was already in a funk the days leading up to this past Saturday.
Because of the upcoming 9/11 anniversary. And this just pushed me over the edge.
The former New York City Fire Department EMT was among those who responded to the 9/11 terrorist attacks 20 years ago.
Every day I close my eyes and I see a slideshow. It gets worse around the anniversary.
Zemosianek's FDNY dress uniform now missing from Sandy's dry cleaners.
I'm still not sleeping, and I won't sleep until I get resolution.
Zemosianek says he and his family have received no answers from Sandy's.
I've had to make all the efforts in reaching out. My daughter had to make all the efforts in reaching out.
Owner Sandy Weaver says she's broken up about what has happened and won't stop looking until the uniform is found. She says the business processes anywhere from 1,200 to 2,200 pieces of clothing a day.
And I'm really proud of our quality control systems. But it does happen. And when it does happen, there are equal systems in place that allow us to solve the problem.
So far, those systems have come up short. Weaver says she feels responsible and is aware negative comments have surfaced online.
That's okay. It really is okay. Because it's not about us. It's about trying to locate this uniform and trying to let this hero wear it again.
A hero without his uniform. A discomfort Zemosianek says he felt Saturday, having to wear a shirt and tie instead.
When I'm representing the department out of service, I should be dressed appropriately. And I wasn't. Plain and simple, that's the uniform that I was to be buried in because of my ties with 9/11. So that's all gone now.
Now to an ABC News 4 investigation. Murder suspects and violent offenders getting out on bond. In some cases, those same suspects commit another crime. It's a story we've been following since last year. And tonight, our Tara Jabor explains how judges make bond decisions and what some say can be done to keep the public safe.
24 hours after someone commits a crime, a judge makes a decision on bond. But how do they make that decision? Within 24 hours of getting arrested, a suspect is entitled to a bond hearing. In the case of a murder charge, bond may not be granted until later. But in all cases, the judge makes a decision on bond based on two things.
One, are you a danger to the community? Two, do you have a risk of flight? Risk of flight meaning how likely are you to flee prosecution?
We have been reporting on repeat offenders, and local law enforcement and solicitor Scarlett Wilson has been outspoken on the issue.
Recidivism, which is the likelihood of someone to commit a crime after they've already committed a crime, is an issue in the entire criminal justice process.
But how common is it?
Most people that release pretrial do just fine. There is a minority that don't do fine. And several of them not only get arrested, but they get arrested repeatedly.
Christy Danford from Charleston County Criminal Justice Coordinating Council has been studying and collecting data on pretrial here in Charleston County. She says there are two big issues.
A money bond isn't really there to keep anybody safe. It's just a threshold of how much money can you afford to buy your way out. It takes a very, very long time for cases to come to justice in our state. The median time to disposition in our circuit court is over 500 days.
Criminal defense attorney Ali Menegakis says due process and no limitations on speedy trial is a problem.
Why does it take so long to go to a trial here? Is there anything a defense attorney like me can do to expedite my client's case? We can't. And the reason is because we do not have a statutory right to a speedy trial in this state.
So what are the solutions? Danford says it's about having other options besides money bond.
So really focusing on those that are least likely to succeed. And then, identifying what are those supportive services or surveillance, whatever may be necessary, to help make sure that that person is staying out of trouble.
New health services are on the way for students in Charleston County School District. A new initiative focuses on mental health specifically. Our Caroline Balchunas explains what all it entails.
This new initiative aims to address the rise in student anxiety and depression within the Charleston County School District.
Since COVID has came around, the mental health issue has really increased tremendously among our students.
This morning, Boeing and CCSD each granted $1 million to MUSC's Boeing Center for Children's Wellness. The center has been working directly with schools for the last 10 years, focused on wellness programs and obesity. This grant money will allow MUSC to build upon its student wellness services and include mental health prevention, support, and treatment.
Schools are where we can reach all the children, not just the ones that come into our offices, and therefore we can provide equitable care.
Dr. Janice Key is a professor of pediatrics at MUSC and also the center's director. She says the number of children seeking mental health help at MUSC's emergency department has increased by 30% since the start of the pandemic. While details are still being worked out, she says it will include therapy with counselors and psychiatrists.
So I hope that when we finish creating this new version of our initiative, that it will move beyond the general foundation of wellness all the way up the pyramid to provide services that are needed to the few children having problems at the top.
Support will also include training teachers to help students deal with stress and find appropriate coping mechanisms.
Helping students with anxiety, with depression, and a number of a plural of other different issues that they're facing with. This helps us with their learning curve. It helps us with their discipline problems that we're dealing with in school from these COVID situations that we're dealing with on a daily basis.